So previously on our channel, so part 1 and part 2, we looked at serving ads via LLM-based chatbots and talked about blended ads and this year highly personalized ads. And we looked into even approaches to blocking those ads. Yesterday there was a demo. And just when we thought we had it all covered, there is like a paradigm shift, like voice-activated ads. So the challenge is that recently users been shifting to voice. Marketers noticed the opportunity, and actually voice-enabled ads are here, and that brings additional privacy concerns related to this particular medium. So we're just going to look at what the voice-activated ads are, how they came to be. So what's a voice-based interface? So if we have a device, we have input and output communication channels. So we can text, like type on the keyboard, like motion. Will be, for example, mouse. We can talk to like a voice microphone. We can even like put some video data, like it's historical advancement. And our devices kind of types, shows us videos, beeps, or does hi-fi audios, or like motion, so kicks us back. So that's like in brief. And it all started with a toy roughly 100 years ago. It was called Radio Rex. And I would say it was voice to action. And so you would say Rex, the oscillator would detect a certain frequency, and then it would release the sprint, so the dog would jump out of that little house. And it had the first integrated ad. So at the bottom, there was that extensive information about the inventor of the toy. And I want to stress that this toy aspect is going to be very important, like throughout to our daily life. It's toy, entertainment, like comfort. Yeah. So in the 50s and 60s, the voice interface, the phase was research and experiments. So the technology used literal matching. It was concentrating on numbers, and like for a decade, it had like 16 words. So in 17, they got like voice recognition. Got to 1,000 words. In 80s, they switched. Those were like Markov prediction models, and they switched to actually predicting what the user was trying to say. And it was in the 80s, and it got us to like rapid expansion, 10,000 words. In the 80s, the IVR era on phones started. All these three like systems when you call in, and they kind of recognize what you say, and they play you some answers. So it's those interviews. And I would say that 87 was the early bird in home electronics. It was called Julie doll. It was finally the doll that understands you. So that doll would kind of listen, and even like there was some speech synthesizer, so it kind of replied recording. So in the 90s, we get to the PC era, so faster processing, and they were targeting 80% speech recognition accuracy. And we have the other side. It's like not only, we have also text to speech. So it started producing relatively natural sound speech, though automatical, like sound automated. And we started having consumer-facing applications and technology. There was that wide IVR adoption, like phone tree systems, they grow like literally like trees. And then we have the software. So we have Dragon software. It recognized continuous speech as 100 words per minute, which was an advance. And text-to-speech accessibility features that start being built into OS software and other assistive technologies. And in 1998, Microsoft releases Speech API. And that's actually when, like text-to-speech, we had healthcare on board. And it means like more money into the sector. That was the first like real important client. And in the early 2000s, it was a stalled decade, so they could not really exceed the 80% speech recognition accuracy. So there was a gradual improvement in text-to-speech quality. And also it was still in 2008, Microsoft released, Microsoft. Google launched the Google Voice search app for the iPhone in 2008. And that put speech recognition to the hands of millions of people, because we need to collect data to be able to predict what people we need more voice input. And in 2008, we had that smartphone era. So the voice interfaces, they were getting closer to us. Then it was smaller screens, larger expectation from the device. And the voice was simply an easier and more efficient input method on devices with small screens and keyboards. Plus, driving safety regulations accelerated the development of hands-free technology. And also that introduced the application architecture when voice recognition, it was done on cloud service. So that huge compute power made it actually possible for that processing to be done on the server side, and that's how the data collection on Google Cloud data service they started, and it was very rapidly accumulating 20, I think it was 26,000, maybe more. All these voice recordings were kept and were using for training for those predictive technology, what was actually said. And the app stores, that development, so people started developing applications. So it was an explosion of speech recognition apps and smart voice assistant. Whoever, big tech company who had access to a cloud or server or just compute, they would have their own assistant. So that's how Siri started, and Cortana, Alexa, Google Hi, Bixby, and Siri was the first one who had a personality. That's important. And also the two fun facts. It was 2011 IBM Watson wins Jeopardy. And so it was that voice recognition. So it kind of was in the room and somehow won. And starting from 2014, I released a Dom Pizza voice assistant. It was working on the app for the iPhone, and you could not only order pizza through talking, but it would also give recommendation. And so in 2017, Google breaks the light barrier. Sorry. So speech recognition achieves human accuracy, 95%. And Amazon joined the race and opens Alexa Skills for developers. So Skills, they're the third-party application that so Alexa is also voice-based assistant sitting in a smart speaker, and so Skills. It means you can develop a skill for Alexa and teach her a new trick. For example, you have an IoT device and you want Alexa to be able to manage that device. And that was very popular. And we had a lot of wearable techs, smart homes, and brand focused voice assistant appeared. And what's important that during the pandemic, voice has got a literal boost because contactless interaction and sanitation have become new strong motivators. So there was that contactless voice app, Don't Touch, Just Ask Your app. And according to a poll conducted, it was I think October 2020, 39% of voice assistant users began using the devices during the pandemic. So that psychological aspect is really important. And voice assistants it was a pandemic era staple of supporting people's well-being and mitigating disconnectedness. So we need to understand that voice assistants, especially smart speakers, they are even more than kind of a knowledgeable expert. Yeah, they're part of the family. that who kind of help people survive through times. And in 2022, it was a shift to generative AI. So with all these breakthroughs in large language models, are like voice assistants. Like last year, like all major starting to use it, like 2023. Was that Yandex, Alisa, then Alexa, Google, Siri, they switched to LLM. Before that, they were using natural language processing. It's a different family of models. It's more rigid. It uses supervised learning, but it cannot kind of like chat. A lot of users noticed the deterioration of the quality of the home assistants. They forgot how to use the devices. They became less reliable, but they became more chatty. And for us, it is important that this means an increased ad placement potential. So we're talking about smart picks would be Amazon Echo, Alexa, and Google Home, and voice assistants that would be like Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant, but they're all yes. So Anatomy were voice-enabled app. So we have a kind of end-user device, which usually has a wake word that sets it into that speech recognition mode, because it has to filter out background noise, separate the user's voice from all other sounds in the room, approximate the user distance from the device, and then maybe run some speech to text engine. And depending on the device, it can be done on the device, and of course, companies try to actually push it to the servers and do the speech recognition. Then the thing that it would be there's a lot NLP or large language model that tried to understand what the user wanted, then do some process, maybe address some external services, and then return the answer back to user, and then do the back text to speech conversion. And sometimes there was a voice to command that would be executed on the device. Voice to command is Alexa, make the temperature higher, lower. Then that actually was not was supposed to do on the and that was not to send a service, but you never know. So to sum up, all these voice assistants, they understand you well. You can. Now they select the voice and persona. They let you multitask. It's really important for voice interfaces. They help you with around house. They babysit your kids, so they make you feel good and in control because it's a kind of servant. Yeah, and chat with you, entertain. So who could go wrong? What could go wrong? Well, the number of voice assistant grows. People actively use voice to search and shop online, and those voice shopping revenue worldwide is going to it doubles every year. And it's even better. What's interesting facts about voice search and shopping? People more often use near me searches, so their location is more exposed. They search for local businesses. And when people talk to their devices, they tend to provide more specific, detailed descriptions of what they want compared to when they type. And because they are actually while talking, they multitask in the process. Nobody's sitting and talking to their device. They're doing something else, whatever, and just talking. So people are a bit distracted, and this actually makes them more ad friendly because it's just on the side. It's like a radio. And then it's been noticed that voice-enabled ads have high engagement and conversion rates. Here we have that reasons for using voice commerce. Why would you want to shop online? Yeah, it enables me to multitask and do other things. 31% of the users reported that in 2019. Yeah, so a distracted user is a difference, because when we use computers, our attention is just directed there. Yeah. So whatever all ads that we see as a kind of annoyance. They stand in our way. Voice is different. We are distracted, we are multitasking, so we don't really mind that much. And so digital audio advertising market worldwide is taking off. And so let's talk about voice-enabled advertising. So what happens like for our modalities? So we use voice for the like input. We ask our device something, and as an output, it can like kind of like talk to us back. Yeah, or it also can have like we can still, if we use computers, it will affect our like we will still have ads on video and text. So voice enabled ads. So even that's how advertisers kind of marketers sell it to advertisers, saying that traditional ads are interruptions. Voice activated advertising is an invitation, and now you can talk to the ads you hear. And another interesting thing are that. So those ads are triggered by voice commands or integrated. Usually, currently, it's in Spotify, like a streaming content, and they use the opt-in technology. So the user gets part like of the ad, and then do you want to continue? And distracted people multitask and say yes. So like. And so what the first experiments were like starting in 2017 when that was actually more like some attempts to hack. It's when like Google system or like Burger King, they were just using or like trying to trigger like wake words on TV saying, "Oh, hey Google, what's that? Hey Google," or like Alexa ordered a dollhouse, and it triggered the voice assistant into pulling up the information about those brands. Or trying even to order something, and it did not land well with the users because they regarded that as actually malfunctioning. So Real Deal started studying from 2018. There was like Tide started using voice-enabled ads, and so Spotify and Pandora started their testing their technology, like voice-based technology. And so that would be like you listen and okay, like Google Home, send me a sample at the end of the end. So users say, send me a sample, and they get a sample, of something. And like the latest one, like it was Alexa launched the Downtown Abbey experience, and they would be able, like as part of entertainment, they would have an option to buy tickets. And like in Amazon 2022, it launched in interactive audio ads. So it means like you listen at the ad and say, Alexa, add to cart, Alexa, remind me. And it will be put into your cart. So like to cover general research trends, like recent in the domain. So it's how to form a sense of VA like voice assistant social presence. Actually, again, to make it sell better, like advertise. Also, adjusting VA personality and voice to make it more convincing. Reducing user reactance to voice assistant ads. So what can be done to kind of to make user like our ads more. And of course, training LLMs to personalize content. So for the social presence, so this research found out that it should be balanced human likeness. That it should be like it should speak as well as it listens. So it's a balance of the speaking. Also, that was a really interesting one. It's like a peer pressure. So in the presence of the voice assistants, when users realized that it was like that they were even like pushed into something, they would still buy. But if they were saying, "Oh, you have some perceived control," they would reject the ad. And then and then they did this study. They found out that kind of giving users like perceived control, but not really reminding them of the security risks, makes people like think that they're in control and they can listen to the ad. So it's like very clever manipulations. And this is a very interesting that's effect of the VA personality, because people tend to select a voice that they like. So that was the very recent August 2023. It's effects of similarity and customization of voice assistant personality. So they found out that the users like and trust their voice assistants more when they relate to their personality type. And they say that voice assistants can easily alter users' perception about content they consume simply by using certain vocal pitch and attributes. So if the listener tracks, so that's been kind of noticed and used. So that was, if we add the risk of LLM ads to that, so we have a subtle, nice general, the generated ad for you, delivered to you by a voice you like. So that's actually two in one. So yes, voice enabled ads, they limit user access of information, because usually, according to statistics, are the results, when there's a voice search results, the answer is given from the top maybe 2 searches or promoted search results, so very limited. And of course, this technology makes it easier to manipulate users. And the future trends, the voice-based advertisers, they know they won't be blocked for a while. And so we expect some developments in 2025. So privacy concerns, I wanted to share voice-related. So interactions and background noises are continuously recorded, analyzed, and kept on somewhere on some servers. And they have a linked sensitive user data. And for example, this is the 2018 Amazon patent. That was patented by the company. And the idea is that in interaction, the user coughs while asking, and then then Alexa pushes, I don't know, some cough, so maybe chicken soup, some related product to them. So that's what they, and other advertisers, they prove it. That Amazon does utilize voice recordings from interactions, with skills to kind of infer user interests and target at delivery. This is a very interesting research. They fed different Alexa skills, different modalities, different interests, and then they measured on the router. They measured the change in traffic. And so that what skill triggered what the advertising demands. So they found that yes, the data goes to Amazon, but also to some third party advertisers, and those interests, they triggered 30 times higher bid in ad auctions. And they noticed that third-party skills data practices are often not clearly disclosed. And then there's the very recent September research. They will further investigating how voice assistant profile their users. Google Assistant gives pre-populated user profiles. Even if you install it, you haven't even talked to it, but it already labels you as a single home owner. Well, and then they Sierra Alexa, they have different practices. So very interesting research. Oh, well, recent cases, it's just we have all that tech, and secretly used voice recordings from its vacuum cleaners to train AI models. While Amazon is always recording, and even you are not even safe in your car if it's connected. For example, Subaru privacy policy states that connected cars collect audio recordings of vehicle occupants, and those. That was a research from Australia about what car company brands collect voice data of their drivers and vehicle occupants. So what can we do? Well, whatever traditional ads and trackers, we can use traditional technology, for example, use for all these network level solutions to block filter list, to block access to the advertising domains. Yes.
Natalia asked me to help a little bit with this specific slide, and I just wanted to mention that we will have very limited success with blocking voice ads. And by very limited, I mean like zero success. We have no chance. Don't use voice interfaces. That's kind of it.
Yeah. So that's how can we block Alexa ads. So there should be a skill for that. Well, and that's it. So stay tuned.